Hi and welcome to this video log with me, Wayne, from swimmingcyclingrunning.com. Well, I'm going to start a series this week of the 5 biggest mistakes that I see front crawl swimmers do when they either come to front crawl as a triathlete or as an adult trying to learn the stroke. Now, I'm not going to deal with these in any specific order, but I'm going to deal with them one at a time per week because I want to be fairly comprehensive in our analysis of the problem and what it does to the swimmer if they have it. So we're going to have 5 individual videos on this, so please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when the next videos come out. So the first one we're going to look at is when someone brings their hand forward as opposed to bringing their arm forward on the recovery stroke in front crawl. Now this does quite a few things to the whole stroke just from that arm coming forward. Let's go to the computer and I'll show you what I mean. Now, as I say, in a lot of swimmers, the focus of the recovery is solely made on the hand, and that does a lot of negative things for your stroke. Now, in these examples I'm showing, you can see that things don't quite look right. It looks as if the swimmer is very inefficient through the water. So to a greater or lesser degree, these swimmers are being inefficient. But exactly what's happening? Well, let's go back and look at the first swimmer again. So we're back with this swimmer and she's just about to bring her hand out the water, the right hand, and she looks fairly balanced at this particular point because she's got good rotation with her shoulder and her hip and everything seems to be aligned. But as soon as she takes her hand out the water, she tries to rush it forward. You can see the arm's not moving, the hand is moving, and immediately she does that, you can see that she's starting to twist her shoulders and her head round to the opposite side. You can see that continues happening as she puts her hand in the water. And as she puts her hand in the water, you'll see that the direction she's putting it in is that way, but the palm of the hand is actually pointing that way. So as she pushes it in, she's actually pushing back against the water, and she actually extends pushing back against the water when she's under the water. Now, at the same time, when you swing your hand forward, it tends to do something to the shoulders. We can see that the shoulders are now completely out of alignment, and because of that, the back has actually curved to one side. So we've actually thrown our whole body out of alignment with the surface of the water and the direction we want to go simply by bringing that hand forward, and the pressure that hand has brought has completely twisted our body. Now we're actually heading off in the wrong direction. So as a triathlete, this is an absolute disaster. Now with the other arm, we're just about to exit the water obviously because we're just finishing a stroke, and as that comes out yet again, the hand comes forward very quickly. We can see that's very hand-centric, and as it goes in the water it's coming in sideways. So yet again we've actually got that as the direction of the hand coming in, and as she pushes it in she's turning it sideways. You can see that turn sideways, so now she's actually pushing back against the water that way, and as that goes forward we're again not levelling up the body, and we've got a wide kick at the back because of that. What this swimmer has effectively done is set up a circle around their body, and they're going to fling their arms around that circle. You can see that happening there. Now we don't want to go in a circular motion in swimming, we want to go in a forward motion. So that circular motion is really putting everything out. And look at the other arm, circular motion, round into that forward position. And that's throwing everything off. It's not the direction we want to go. So you can see, if we bring our hand forward and it's a movement that's quite violent, our body, our hips want to move in the opposite direction. Now if we were on the ground and we did this, we can actually control it because our feet, if we plant them wide enough, are actually a firm base. But in the water, if our feet are together, we find it more and more difficult to control that movement. And so we start snaking down the pool, and that's actually swimming a longer distance than we need to, which in anyone's view has to be rather silly. Now here we have a swimmer with a straight arm recovery that we can use as a good comparison to the previous swimmer. Now it's a good comparison because a straight arm recovery is quite a good technique for triathletes, and the other person is a triathlete. So as the arm comes forward, you can see it's coming forward as a single unit. So although it's moving in a circular motion, she's not throwing her body out at all. And as she comes in, she's extending the shoulder forward at full extension. And you can see that the shoulders here are still in line, still in line, and we've got a really nice extension with a really nice straight body, and that's exactly what we want. If you look at the legs at the back, they're not splayed. The other arm's coming out, that comes forward, the hand slightly overtakes, but again it goes in at full extension, and she's stretching that arm forward into the catch position. Again, we've got a straight body, we've got a nice hip rotation and a nice shoulder rotation. We've got one eye still in the water. The legs at the back, again, are not splayed. So everything's remained in motion because we're moving forward, not sideways. Now, the problem of being hand-centric throwing, that hand around the body, happens with even competitive swimmers. Here's a swimmer breaking out from a dive, and she's going to bring the hand round. And you can see it's crossing the sort of centre line there. It's not in line with her shoulder. So she's bringing it into that direction there. Now, if we look at it, you can see her body, as she brings her shoulder and arm round to the left-hand side, is curving the other way. So her bum's gone that way, and she's now in a curve. Now, this is a competitive swimmer. We want her to be as fast as possible. You can see going the other way, she's swinging the other way, and legs are going one way, and the head's going the other. She's not going in a straight line, she's going down the pool in a wiggly-woggly motion, and that's going to slow her down. So even competitive swimmers can do exactly the same thing. As you see here, that curve in the body doesn't help. However much it is, what we want to do is we want to throw that arm into the water, down the pool, not across the body, and then we'll have a straight swimmer and a faster swimmer. Now, the reason why coaches like the high elbow recovery is it brings everything close to the centre of your rotation. And if something's close to the centre of rotation, it's not going to disturb your line. It's not going to disturb your body line as you do it. If something's wide, then if something's wide, then it easily disturbs your centre of rotation because you've got forces that don't quite match to it. However, in open water swimmer and often in long distance swimming, a straight arm recovery can actually be quite good, but we have to lift the arm quite high to make sure that we don't swing sideways with our body. Now, with swimmers or any athletes or athletics I'm actually coaching, I like to know how someone's feeling. And you need to know how it feels to bring your arm forward correctly. And all you have to do is hold your wrist and then try and raise your hand up from that position. And you'll feel the shoulder muscles and the lats actually working there and nothing else. If you do this, you'll feel all of the bicep muscles working as well. So just put your hand on your wrist and try and raise your arm, and you'll feel the deltoid and the lats working, but nothing else. And that's exactly what you should feel when you're bringing your arm forward in front crawl. So whichever way you recover your arm, be it high elbow, bringing the shoulder forward nicely like that, or as a straight arm, using the shoulder to bring your arm straight. What we want to do is we want to land in the water in line with our shoulder. You can see that's in line with our shoulder. We want to land in the water virtually at full extension, with our palm pointing down towards the bottom of the pool. And by doing that, we're actually driving forward in the direction we want to go. We're not driving sideways or anywhere else. We're driving forward where we want to go. And if you feel it, if you throw your shoulder forward and your hand forward, you'll feel yourself driving forward. And that's the direction we want all our effort. So we need to practice that move with that feeling of the deltoid and the lat working, but not the bicep and any of the forearm muscles working. So you need to practice that movement and get into that position. The easiest way to do that is to do single arm drills. Now, to cure this particular problem, I like having something out front. It can be your hand or you can be holding a pull buoy. But if you actually do that and come forward, you can't cross over anymore. You're going to be heading into the water in a virtually straight line with your shoulder. And once your hand's in the water, we want to extend that arm even further. So we're pushing that hand down the pool. We're actually trying to reach the end with our fingers, and then we're going into the catch. So from the side, We're bringing our hand forward. It's a straight arm I'm coming with. We're feeling the deltoid and the lats working. It's coming in, and then we're extending forward and getting into that catch. And you can see I'm increasing my reach. What we want effectively is to come straight into that if we can when we're actually swimming. But in this case, if you go in and extend, you'll get that feeling just as well. So there we have it, the first of our 5 mistakes that we're going to go into over the next few weeks. And this is a hugely important one. If you are making that mistake, you're not heading in the direction you need to go to when you're swimming. And as a triathlete, if you're wiggly woggling in open water, you are going to go all over the place and probably do at least 10% extra in terms of distance. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Please comment below, see your experiences with this, and help other people by commenting. So this whole series is intending to get you into a much better place with your front crawl swimming. It's going to prepare you for a season of good swimming in open water or in the pool. Well, hopefully you're already looking forward to our next one in the 5. Thanks very much for watching. See you next week.